Hey guys, this is Kimberly Thornton with heisreal.com, and today I want to talk to you a little more in depth on how to organize a theater troupe. Now, we had talked before about doing some of this, but I wanted to really give you more specific ideas of what you could possibly do. So, say you have this idea, you want to get a bunch of people together. Maybe people in your immediate life don't necessarily have the skills necessary or even the desire, but you know there's got to be people around you. What I would do is I would hold like some type of informal public meeting. Publicize it in bookstores, Facebook, even in grocery stores, newspapers, those types of things. Then, as you gather this group together that you've met, then begin to talk about some ideas, some of the visions that you have, and kind of gauge where they are. So that way you can kind of decide maybe who would be suitable for your team. That would be just the first place I would start. Okay. Then second, let's say you've got this idea and you don't even know where to start. So you might want to go visit one of your local theaters, your community theaters. They are chock full of people who do this all the time on a voluntary basis. And you want to go see as many plays and productions that they put on. Go talk to the directors. Go talk to some of the set designers. Go talk to some of the actors. Pick their brain. Figure out what they do so you can know exactly what to do, how to incorporate this into your vision. Then I would just determine what type of production you want to do. If you are big on musical and maybe you know how to read music and you can teach music, well, this would be a great place for you. You say, well, I don't really know much about musical theater. Well, then you might want to do just some kind of just simple little playwrights. You might want to decide, is it going to be a full cast ensemble? Is it just going to be a few actors? These are these types of things that you really, really need to plan, honestly, before you hold your community meeting. Also, are you going to do like just for adults? Is it going to be for kids? Is it going to be for teens? Is it for ministry? Is it for community? Those are those types of things that you really need to determine way before you get started. Like I said, you need to discuss whether there's going to be dramas or musicals or even Shakespeare. And I highly recommend, if you're going to do Shakespeare, get a drama coach. Unless you really know what you're doing. We're not doing Shakespeare here. Okay. So you need to go and scout out some possible spaces, such as, community centers, church halls, school auditoriums, or even vacant buildings. Now, I think this is really cool because I've seen people do this, go in and talk to the owner of this vacant building and say, listen, I need to, I want to put on this production. Maybe they'll work something out with you, And you say, well, how in the world am I possibly going to fund something like that? I'm glad you asked. Well, you can either do it through ticket sales, you can do it through grants, you can do it through concession sales, you can do it through all the above. In fact, I have a friend of mine who does nonprofit. She's a nonprofit organization called The Muse. It's a community theater, and I know that she got it through some grants. And we're going to be talking a little later on with her about how she did it and some ideas that you might can incorporate for yourself. Well, this is another one. Consider whether you're going to have like a dinner or dessert theater. And you say, well, I don't have the money to afford a caterer. I guarantee you there is somebody somewhere in culinary school who says, I'd love to start my own catering business, but I have nowhere to go with it. This is a great networking opportunity. Hook up with these people. Have a little taste test with you and your troupe before, but definitely use them and say, listen, you just go and network, get your card out, get your name out. This is a great way for everyone involved. Okay, so this is another idea that you might want to consider. Creating your own organizational structure. Like, are you going to have the board of directors? If not, you're maybe going to have a committee or a subcommittee. If you're interested in nonprofit, my suggestion would be to talk to a lawyer and understand, some of the ideas and things and the costs it's going to incur. So you might want to do that again. We'll be talking to my friend who has the nonprofit, and she'll be able to help you. Okay, so decide if you're going to have any paid staff. You know, this is something that, like for set designers and lighting designers and music and those kind of things. Again, I would go talk to your local community theater in your community and find out who they use and how much it's going to cost. So maybe you can hold some fundraisers to raise some money. You know, select which plays and musicals you want to perform for the first year. This is a great idea to get on Google. They've got a wonderful calendar, or get on Excel and go ahead and and decide how much you're willing to do. Don't be over ambitious. Don't wear yourself out. You know, if this is your first time, maybe do 3 a year. And if you feel a little more confident, begin to do more, depending upon what kind of piece you're piecing together. Let's see. Okay, so obviously when you're putting all this stuff together, you're going to need to choose directors, an assistant director, and a stage manager. Your director is the one who is solely the person who knows exactly what they're doing. The assistant director is the go-to person. They are the ones that are making sure everything is being, the tasks are being performed, all the music, there needs to be music, there's lighting, there needs to be lighting, etc., etc. And then, of course, the stage manager, the person that is making sure the actors are there on time, that the cues are also on time, all the props are being changed in the dark, all those wonderful things. So those are the type of things that you need to do. Also, your committee you might want to consider having a committee that will help, bring that together. Okay, when you're choosing your dates, the best thing to do is avoid holiday weekends. Why? Because everybody travels on the holidays. You don't want to have this. You don't want to have been into your production for 6 months, spend all this money on advertising, and no one show up. So it's highly, highly important. Like even if you decide to do a Christmas musical, you need to decide, say, if you want to go into a church and perform this, find out from the pastor when's the best time to do it, or the church staff when's the best time to do it, because they'll be able to tell you, don't do it the weekend of Christmas. everybody's gone. Maybe do it the weekend before. Things like that are very important. And it's also, depending upon, obviously the piece that you have, but it's good to hold auditions 6 months in advance so everyone can get prepared. You need to place your casting calls, and you can put it in regional newspapers and cable TV programs and bulletin boards. This is I think very, very key, especially if you're getting started, because I know we get overzealous and just trying to list everything, and we might forget this as we're putting out, hey, we're doing I don't know, Guys and Dolls, and I need actors. Well, granted, that's a large ensemble piece, but you need to be very specific in who you need, what you're looking for in their characteristics. Do they need to be tall? Do they need to be white? Do they need to be black? Do they need to be a certain age? You need every specific characteristics of this character. If they're Hispanic, it doesn't matter. You need to be very specific. And then, of course, publicize at least a month in advance for your event, because you want to get as many people involved as you can. Create a buzz on Facebook and your community, like I said, cable TV and newspapers and things of that nature. So anyway, I hope this helps you, and please feel free to leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Thanks. God bless.